Now let's talk a little bit about the Rune SIG, because the Rune SIG is another very interesting runic character. The Rune SIG is associated with light. And for me to show you the Rune SIG in the Codex Runicus, this right here is the Rune SIG. Notice that it looks like a lightning bolt. It is a bolt of fire. This is the Rune SIG. And I'm showing you here, R is related to words meaning sun or splendor in the Old Nordic language. R and SIG are intimately related. This is why when we give this lecture, we speak about Rune and R together. The Norse god Sol was a symbol of life, warmth, and prosperity. This Nordic god Sol is the same Egyptian Ra. Yeah. It is the same manifestation of Tonatiuh among the Aztecs. As you may remember, when we were looking at the images from the Borgia Codex, the Codex Borgia, Tonatiuh shows up, and in the back of his head, there is a sun that is emerging. The same manifestation. Now, this Rune SIG, it brings with it, as part of its power, divine energy and life-giving qualities, which are the qualities of the sun. It is a symbol of lightning, and it is a symbol of rays of light. And when you come across this rune implies that there is, let me move here, if this can allow me for a second. It implies success, good fortune, a sign of guidance, inspiration, and positive outcomes. Viracocha, in his writings, he says, the Rune SIG has an astrological correspondence, and that is with the planet Neptune. Now, among the Greek, the Romans, Poseidon, Neptune, that is the god of water. So, SIG, being a symbol of the sun and lightning and fire, it has a direct connection with water. And what does Jesus tell Nicodemus? We must be born again from water and spirit, from water and fire. There is a deeply veiled sexual mystery behind the Rune SIG. There is serpentine wisdom behind the Rune SIG. The Rune SIG means spiritual power, and it means triumph. It means victory. And notice that it is the universal seal and the force that breaks through things like a lightning. So when we are doing our works of magic, we always finish the work with the universal seal, that is the Rune SIG. And you will see that when we do our practices and our mantras. When we work with elemental magic, we always finish the work with the Rune SIG. Samael tells us that Sulu Sihisig is the secret name of the sacred divine cobra, Kundalini. And what you see here on the screen, if you allow me to bring your attention, this right here is the Buddha. That is Siddhartha Gautama, the illuminated one. And Buddha is sitting here protected by 7 Nagas. You can see that those 7 Nagas are 7 serpents of fire. These 7 serpents are 7 different radicals of fire that are an intimate part of our being. And that fire is the fire of Kundalini. Those 7 serpents will show you real easy. That is the serpent of fire that must rise in the spine of the asset, of the practitioner, in the physical body. The second serpent that we see here is the serpent that must rise in the ethereal body of the participant. When that serpent rises in the ethereal body, in the vital body, that is the superior aspect of the physical body, that ethereal body becomes Christified. When it becomes crystallified, the ethereal body becomes the stone of the philosophers. That is the stone that must be chiseled. But as the practitioner continues to work, there is a third serpent that starts rising, because once we satisfy all the energetic needs of the physical and the ethereal body, as we continue working in that great work, that transmuted energy, it jumps into a next octave. There are 7 octaves. And as it goes into that third octave, we start seeing the crystallization of the solar astral body. And that third serpent is the serpent that rises up the spine of the solar body, of the solar astral body. This one is the serpent that rises on the mental body. When the practitioner is able to rise that fourth serpent up the spine of that mental body, the Divine Mother celebrates with the practitioner in the temple, the realm of the mind. And there is a celebration, and the Divine Mother says, "My son is a new Buddha." So Siddhartha Gautama, exactly as we see him here, Gautama knew about the serpent, the wisdom of the serpent, and he worked intimately in the Great Arcanum with his priestess wife. There are 3 other serpents. The 5th serpent, that is the serpent that rises in the causal body. When the practitioner experiences the rising of that serpent of fire, he becomes then capable of receiving the Vanustic initiation. And with the Vanustic initiation, the Christ descends on the practitioner, just like the Holy Spirit descended in the great master Jeshua when he was being baptized by another Christified man, John the Baptist, in the River Jordan. The Christ assumes ownership of the actions, the thoughts, the sentiments, the physicality of the practitioner. The personality is displaced. And this is why that divine aspect, that purity, that divinity, then is considered a sinner. Because it comes and it takes ownership of all those actions of an adept that is still not a master of perfection. This next serpent is the serpent of the Buddhic body, that is the body of the spiritual soul. And the last one is the serpent, you allow me, friend, it's the serpent of Atman, which is our innermost. So here are the 7 serpents of fire, and Sulu Sihi Sig is the name of that fire of Kundalini. Sig is also immediately evident as the flaming sword that keeps the way of the tree of life. When Adam and Eve committed the original sin and they were expelled from paradise, well, we can see Sig as the flaming sword of the cherubim. And Samael says the way that sword moves is in those motions, keeping the profane away from the tree of life. The holy tetragrammaton, which is this 5-pointed flaming star, this is a constant repetition of the rune SIG. You know what we will do? We're going to give a lecture on the meaning of the tetragrammaton. Yes, we're going to cover all of these symbols, but we're going to share with you just a couple of things here real quick, because the 7 archangels are listed in this flaming star. Let me show you. We see here Mercury. That is Archangel Raphael. Immediately underneath, we see Venus. We see the moon, Archangel Gabriel. We see the sun, Archangel Michael. We see Mars, Archangel Samael, on both arms. We see Saturn, Archangel Orifiel, the angel of death. And we see Jupiter at the top of the head, the father of the gods, Zeus. 7 archangels, 7 manifestations of the rune SIG crystallizes this flaming star. No wonder, Samael says, when demons, tenebrous ones, see this, they run away. So this 5-pointed star is a constant repetition of the rune SIG. And in our opening screen that we had Thor. Thor is there with his hammer and he is fighting those giants. As he fights the giants, you can see that there is lightning. You can see that there is a bolt of lightning here that is destroying that other giant. These giants are our own psychological aggregates. And the hammer is a phallic symbol. So right there, SIG is intimately related to the mysteries of the Lingam Yoni. In the Hindu tradition, there is a water fountain. And from that water fountain, there is a phallus that comes up, a phallic instrument. And from the phallic instrument, there's water that flows. We see images of Shiva holding that fountain of water with that phallic instrument. That is right there, the mystery of the magic of the super dynamics of love. Yes, sir.
So in the Lingam Yoni, it has a bowl on the bottom there, right?
Correct.
So it's like, isn't it the female and the male?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is the Tau cross of the Egyptians. Yes. That is the symbol. Correct. And notice here how we see also the rune SIG as the lightning of the cosmic justice. This is Arcanum 16 of the Egyptian Tarot. And we see that at the bottom of the image, there are the waters of life. We see that there are 3 instruments right there. If this cooperates, you can see them. There is a whip, there is a scepter, and there is a staff of wisdom. The whip is willpower. The staff of wisdom is the spine. The scepter is the spine, and that staff of wisdom is a symbol of masculine and feminine principles. And when those instruments are used negatively, we end up creating this structure right here that is the Tower of Babel. And the Tower of Babel, we all know the story. There was a lightning that came from heaven and destroyed it to annihilate the blasphemies of men. And we see both the man and the woman falling, both of them head first, like an inverted flaming star. That is why the inverted flaming star is a symbol of darkness. So we see the rune SIG right here. And to that effect, Samael says, woe, woe to those initiates who succumb to the fiery kisses, not of many women, but of that symbolic woman who does not try to grossly seduce with mere animal sensation, but with the most delectable arts of subtle sentimentalism and romantic emotionalism. Here in these words, Samael is giving a warning to all those great masters who are taking the teaching from him. Because as you will come to see later, there are superior rituals of higher magic that it says, may the practitioner not take a wife unless Osiris Ra grants it. May the woman not take man unless Osiris Ra grants it. Because the purpose of that union is superior, but internally as an instrument of profound transformation. We also see the rune SIG at the time of the crucifixion. Samael says, the final initiation is sealed with lightning and the rune SIG, and amidst thunder and lightning, these tremendous words are heard. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And in the book of Matthew, we can see that manifestation of the rune SIG when Matthew says, and Jesus cried again with a loud voice and yielded up his spirit. You see it here? And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook and the rocks were split. So the rune SIG has been right in front of us all along. So what about the rune SIG? Let's bring all this together. Samael says, we must seal all of our magical works, our invocations, supplications, healing chains, etc. with the Rune SIG. Every possible work of magic is always handed up to the innermost. We always say, let this be according to the great law, not our will. And we seal the work so that we don't come back and we influence with negative, inferior stuff. How do we do it? We stand tall. So if we are doing, for example, the Rune audio, and we're done, we break away from that posture, from that stance, and we stand tall as if we were standing at attention, and we use our right hand and from it the index finger. And with it, we trace the sound of lightning by singing the mantra S as a sweet and gentle whistle. S. Done. That is how we seal our works of magic. So friends, this is what we wanted to share with you today when it comes to the magic of the runes. We covered the runes R and SIG. Any questions?
No.
Very well. So dear friends, thank you for joining us this week. Hope to see you next time. May all beings be happy.